while it lasts. A Black History Month is every year. People don't realize that it is severe.
So like cattle, a piece of meat, making black people feel so cheap. Cause you're the first beginning and the truth unfolds. Fathers of a history which must be told. By conceived by his mind and built by his hands. Because of the black man, the pyramids still stand. Because of her black beauty fame, her spectra. The fall of Rome because of Cleopatra. Take heed, my chosen ones, for you are of the seed of Eve, created in the image of me, with the beauty of Sheba, wisdom of Solomon. Black history, I find it dear and true, and never think twice to refer back to you. Black history.
Oh yeah. What's the name of this record? Say Black History. What's the name of this record? Say Black History. Black history. Black history. Black history is alright. Black history. Black history.
the bass. Come on, Davy, let's rock this place.
Martin was my kind of guy, and if you wonder why, because he wanted equal rights for blacks and even whites, for men and women and boy and girl. Join hands around the world, singing free at last, thank God Almighty, we're free at last. When it came to black achievers, there were none greater than Martin Luther King, a racial demonstrator. It must have been hard to be a desegregator and ignore the racial slurs of a Negro hater. But when it came to getting prejudice eliminated, Martin Luther King marched and demonstrated. For the Nobel Peace Prize, he was nominated. Then by a sniper, he was assassinated. But the dream still lives, even through today. With the help of Mayor Good and Congressman Bill Gray, it's alive in Philly and all over the world. So that all the men and women, all the boys and the girls, may not be judged by the color of their skin, but the content of their character that dwells within. The words of Martin shall always remain as long as humans live in pain, or as long as prejudiced people say, I don't like him because he looks this way, or I don't like her because she's not like me. Without MLK, where would the blacks be? In the back of the bus or in the fields, picking cotton with the sun so hot. His skin starts to rise. To make that job easy was my other black friend, Eli Whitney, inventor of the cotton gin. But Martin seen to it, we never had to pick. Cotton in the fields will be hit by stick. No, it wasn't easy though the job got done. He was sprayed many times with a water gun, or should I say a high pressure water hose. Punched in the eyes, lips, face, and nose. Hit with clubs right over his head. It seemed like he'd have been better off dead. He was always the victim of a racial attack. Sworn to non-violence, Martin never hit back. These are the stories of a brutal past. Thank God Almighty, he's free at last. Now children of the world, become as one. We forgot, makes us up for what we've done. The children in the ladder that disappeared, the Ku Klux Klan that have always been, or anyone posing threats to the children of God. Lord only knows how Martin tried. I'm MC Marshak, and I'm here to say that we shall overcome someday. But until we do, I say unto y'all, all unto peace and peace unto all. But God gifted me with this rapping thing. Spin masters, lift every voice and sing. Say we shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Smoking Joe, give the tables a play. Shall overcome. Beat blowing Davy D shall overcome. DJ Smoking Joe Flash shall overcome. MC Mellow B shall overcome. So DJ Smoking J-O-E, we wish Brother Martin were alive to see how much we progress, cause we're truly blessed with a God-given talent to stay so fresh.
Downtown to the center of the city, I was feeling really low, hung up on self-pity. I needed to revive the bitter life in me, so I stepped in the museum of black history. I thought as though I'd been deprived while going to college. I wanted a dose of some truthful knowledge. I wanted to relieve my mind of suspicion. That was my objective as I paid my mission. When I stepped in the door, what did I find? That our roots go back to the beginning of time. Since 5000 BC, we've been in command. That's when they first discovered the motherland. Back then they hunted to maintain their health, but in the 1800s they were hunted themselves. There was a prejudice name for our people's situation. The name was slave and it gained its reputation. But we really shouldn't use that name anymore, cause in reality they were prisoners of war, captured and bonded and forced to participate. The war for freedom came, but it was much too late. Too much suffering had already been done, and that shouldn't have happened to a native son. But on another floor there were photos galore. The truth was seeping in and I wanted some more. And when I stepped a little closer, what did I see? That South Africa's been struggling just to be free. For 300 years, freedom was a suggestion. They wanted to be free from racial oppression, like the struggle in America many years ago. Their apartheid was our Jim Crow. Laws that were made to stop segregation, made to uphold racial separation. On the left it was black and on the right it was white. But if we're all God's children, it couldn't have been right. But in this country there were people who knew it was wrong. They should get a little mention in this hip-hop song. People who are still alive today, like John Street, Joan Spector, and William Gray, Arthur Ashe, Belafonte, and Dave Richardson, Bishop Tutu, and Reverend Priscilla. But they knew a job must be done, they didn't hesitate. And if you ask me, I think these people are great. Now on the top floor, I was in for a treat. This was the last stop to make my trip complete. I didn't want to leave with a mind full of doubt, so they told me exactly what they were about. The hows and whys, the museum collection helped assure me that I made the right connection. They told me everything that I needed to know, and I even saw an African folk dance show. The experience of a lifetime we all need to do. I enjoyed myself, and I'm sure you will too. Although adults may not agree with the hip-hop sound, what I'm saying is reality, so gather around. There's no scratching or profanity, just a simple treat. There's just a beat in my voice to make this rap complete. So just gather around while I get on down. And if you don't believe, just take a trip downtown. The exhibits are there, just go and see them at the Black History Museum.
Nominated. And American scientist now life for reminiscence of a peculiar jugger and a rhyme and lyrics. Wanna do the thing with specific by swing. Hate distinction in your history books in their museum. And if that ain't enough, do this, you'll meet them with fraternity, the ones in sin. Listen, the first American Negro to rise like an eagle. And achieve no distinction for our people. Hey, friend, it's two of us, the rock, the mic. So let's illustrate the man's life. That's a point, fact one. Born in 731, Richard Banneker was born a free Negro son. I died in 1806, we customs of a hunt. The story must be told for you, the one. On a phone in Baltimore, Banneker was taught to read and write. His grandmother saw him a better life. That's why she taught and sent him to school. United his thought. In there, he developed an interest in math. The class of the brothers complained they can't pass. And another would be lying, stone outside. He liked it so much, it seemed to be no device. Taught himself astronomy and also mathematics. So very well to work with apparatus. School he had to quit, but it wasn't a harm. Became self-educated while working on a farm. Then Banneker is the man that we are talking about. And when we're through, you know what he was all about. Then Banneker is the man that we are talking about. And when we're through, you know what he was all about. In 1753, he built a clock from a tree entirely from wood. It's hard to believe he hand carved the clock from a pocket watch. As a guy to make America's first clock. And for 50 years the clock did work. And how do we know? We did some research. 1791, Thomas Jefferson, Secretary of State under Washington, recommended Banneker to get a job done with two other surveyors to work as one. Benjamin Banneker was smart in every category. That's why he was chosen to bore the territory of the District of Columbia. The survey every crime that the borders and the region had put it on the map. The fact that he was black didn't really matter. Washington D.C. needs the boundaries battle. Why Jefferson chosen the man was outspoken when it came to geometry. The man was the joke. Richard Banneker Almanac was the first American nigga to accomplish that. He made all astronomy entire calculations and weather predictions for this nation. In our American history, he was known to be the most popular scientist that could ever be. Benjamin Banneker built the first clock for you to ride. Benjamin Banneker, G-Sign, our nation's capital. Benjamin Banneker, a cool chop. Listen my voice to soul, so watch out. Get on the mic and use a big skull. Hit it, a breakdown. Yeah, dedication, Banneker. Let's stop. Cool chop. One do it. You know, I'm the poet. Like Bobby. Now, what's the beat of the law?
The people so happy and the grass so green. The city so great and the water so clean. If only you saw, if only you had seen this storybook land right out of a dream. There was Timbuktu and Janae, J.O. Songhai and Asante. All great cities of the black race that once stood high but now face disgrace because the white-skinned man came again and again with the big slave ships taking family and friends. I saw them being taken to the shore, and once the ship sailed, I saw them no more. Fighting through the streets, days without end, looking for someone with a darker color skin. They took my people by the score, man, the kings, the queens, and even the poor. Africa, a land so far away, robbed of its riches to this very day. Africa, where there was peace for a while. She is the mother and you are the child. The dignity stolen, pride drugged through the mud. My people fight back just to lose more blood. I seek the great and Shaka too, our leaders who knew just what to do. The warriors fought until the last was done, but they had no chance against the white man's gun. The tears of our children flooded the land as the parents stolen by the uneducated man. I still can't understand this situation. Why did these strangers come to kidnap a nation? Africa, a land so far away, robbed of its riches to this very day. Africa, where there was peace for a while. She is the mother and you are the child. I was left alone, parents taken away. I provided for myself and prayed every day that I would see them once again before I died. Little did I know I was living a lie. My race they disgraced, my feelings they burned, and after all that they still return. I can't explain just how I survived this crazy nightmare at the age of 5. Africa, although we tried, Africa, they always lied. Africa, and we were denied. Africa, of our African pride. Africa, 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 Africa.
Harriet Tubman was a girl who wasn't for letting anybody be a prisoner of war. Between 1820 and 1913, she really did a lot. Do you know what I mean? Well, maybe you don't. That's why I'm here to tell the things she did in her years. She was a U.S. abolitionist, worked the Underground Railroad, a big risk. In 1820, she was born in slavery. By 1849, she was free. In the next 10 years, she made 19 trips. One mistake, and there could have been it, but she was cool. Calm, going back and forth from the hard-working South up to the North. Read over 300 states, so she had to be cool. Harriet Tubman couldn't have been no fool. In my opinion, she was smart. I mean, who in the world could have that much heart? Ben Turner's wife gave birth to a son. When Nat Turner was born, his mother had to be restrained because she'd rather see him dead than living in pain. But as time went on, she wasn't too upset because she knew Nat Turner was a slave's best bet. When he reached his teens, He got baptized because he felt he was a special messenger of God. Later in his life, he began to have visions, and he knew it was time to make decisions. So Nat Turner and his crew got themselves together and decided what to do. Knowing down south wasn't the place to be. They killed not just the master but the whole family. When they were caught, some would try, condemned and hung. But now today we can sing this song. Free at last, free at last. No prisoners of war, and you know I'm glad. I said free at last, free at last. No prisoners of war, and you know I'm glad.
In the year of 1908, an event occurred that was really great. Took place in a city called Baltimore, behind the shelter of a hospital door. You see, what happened is a lady had a baby, not a no, not a maybe, but yes, she jumped for joy because the baby was a boy. No one knew it then, but later it would be said that the grace of God had touched this child's head. The young man was born to make history, to reach the highest of heights for all the world to see. I'm here to tell the story, the pride and the glory of the man that ranks first in the legal category. As sure as he's a judge, he was fair and impartial. This man's name is Thurgood Marshall. He's the subject of this epic rhyme. I'm proud to say that he's a legend in his own time. He began his studies at Lincoln U. Worked long, worked hard until he was through. Went to law school at Howard, then he passed the bar. He was well on his way to becoming a star. Then he set up shop and took a look all around. He didn't like the sort of things that were going down. All kinds of unfairness in the US of A, where both the deer and antelope are supposed to play. You had one raised here, the other way over there. Segregation due to color, it was everywhere. Yes, Mr. Jim Crow was his pet peeve. The injustice all around him, he just couldn't believe. But then he put his foot down and said, I ain't no way. As long as I'm alive and breathing in the world today, I've got to do my best to change wrong to right. Cause that's the only way I'm ever gonna sleep at night. And even though his adversaries are formidable foe, on this day I swear we're gonna beat Jim Crow. So he went to war, winning case after case, overcoming every obstacle he had to face. As a lawyer for the NAACP, his reputation was renowned over land and sea. He laid the foundation all through the nation to put an end to institutional discrimination. He built a list of credentials that was second to none. Will be enough for some people, but he was far from done. Became the 5th Circuit Judge in New York State. Plain to see that he was guided by the hands of fate. But his greatest achievement was still yet to come, cause then they sent him right back where he came from. But it wasn't for reprisal or a reprimand, cause he was headed for the highest court in the land. Cause 1967 was the year, you see, that's when he came face to face with his destiny. Washington, D.C. is where he lives today, where he establishes the laws that you have to obey. He went straight to the top, making use of his mind. Lawyer par excellence, he's a one of a kind. So if you're looking for somebody you can look up to, if you need a role model, tell you what you should do, look no further than the Capitol, and there you'll see someone who gave us all in all to help you and me. First and only black man who can make the claim that Supreme Court judge goes before his name. So hats off to Mr. Marshall and the things he achieved. Just another fine example that can make you believe that education is the key that unlocks the door to do everything you want to do in life and more. To keep your head on straight, keep reaching for the sky, cause nothing ever beats a failure except for a try. No one knows what the future has in store for you, but you got to be prepared to make your dreams come true. You get an honest opportunity to show what you got. Mr. Marshall saw to that, so we all alive. Tell you what we're gonna do so we can end this song. When you hear the man's name, everybody sing along. Say, oh, Mr. Marshall.
Mr. Marshall.
Oh, Mr. Marshall. Say what?
Mr. Marshall.
Oh, Mr. Marshall.
Mr. Marshall.
Thurgood Marshall.